everybody. So today I would like to talk about what this picture is. So obviously you can see that I'm a very creative person. I come from a very creative family. And this is something that came from a meditation that I did like 15 years ago. So I've been dragging this around for a really long time and haven't finished it because I really wasn't sure how to do this spiral, and I'm still not completely sure. So it does need a lot more white in it, because in the meditation there was a lot more white or light, and this is what some people may call a rainbow bridge or a Kundalini rising. To me, it was like activating all of the chakras all at once during that meditation. And meditating isn't something that I've done a lot of. I don't think that I've taken the time because I've always been in a hurry, generally, and that's how society has kind of been, that people need to be in a hurry. But I think that's changing now, and I think it's important that we start to pay attention to that, at least for myself. So I'm going to be finishing this painting. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to be practicing the spiral. I'm waiting for some brushes that are smaller, and eventually I will probably put this in my shop as a print, so that if it's something you're interested in looking at, you can have it as well. But it's obviously not finished at this point. So it's been really confusing for me to figure out how to draw the spiral. So what I've been doing is different practices, which, I mean, some of them are working out great, some are not. So what I drew today, this is going to be the spiral that I'm drawing. And in the meditation, this spiral was just all over the place. It almost looked like a piece of licorice, with that little ridge that goes up, up, up. And that ridge was basically light. So for me, it's like figuring out how to create light in this painting, because that's what it was. And it's important for us, as you know, when we're connecting with ourselves, to have light, to make room for light. So anyway, when I was meditating, and this was years ago, I was just in the middle of getting divorced and going through a lot of stuff emotionally, and kind of changing how I looked at things. And for me, it was really important to start to get in touch with myself. I'd had a long illness, which was connected with the stress, I think, of the marriage. And we all go through these things and these lessons. And for me, I just like to work through it with art. And art is really not something I've been able to practice a whole lot in my adult life, because I've been in corporate jobs, corporate management, and as much as I loved the people that I dealt with in that time, and the employees as well, that I've had that have been wonderful, it definitely, when you know what C-19 hit, I did not want to have that as my life anymore. So what I'm doing now is creating a different kind of life, and that has to do with art, positivity, creativity, making jewelry, any kind of creative outlet, I believe, is really good. So I'm very into that. So, and this is something that I was doing this morning. I love to doodle in the morning. It's kind of like a calming, meditative thing for me. So I do a lot of that. But basically what I'm going to try and create is a rainbow spiral. So as we go through this, I'm going to start with the red. And these are really great. They're almost like a watercolor. And I'll put a link in the bottom of the video, but I really like the softness of them. So I'm going to start with those. And the gray is representing where the white will be. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this painting. So you might not see it in there for a really long time. We'll just see. Hopefully these new brushes will help me get the effect that I'm looking for. But basically, I've always been into drawing rainbows as a kid. And I think that the rainbow is a very important thing because it just shows you basically that we have all these different aspects of ourselves and not to let go of any of them. You know, it creates this beautiful balance. And the rainbow is of light. It's a spectrum of light. There's a lot that we're not actually seeing with our eyes, but I think it's something that I've always loved anyway. So I'm just gonna kind of create this, and then I'm gonna highlight some of the color as well. But I'm trying to get an idea of how to create this spiral. I've looked all over the internet to get it to look like it looked in my meditation, which felt like an out-of-body experience. It was really beautiful, and I know that when I have a vision that's like that strong, that it's something I don't forget. And I don't know if you've ever experienced that or not. You have to be kind of in a place of being able to receive it. And the times that I have been able to get into meditation and slow down enough, that's when really beautiful things come in. And recently I've been learning how to be in touch with higher self. So basically be in touch with my higher self, and it's just really a wonderful thing to have the chance to be in touch with your higher being. Intuition has always been pretty prevalent with me, but this is just like amped up, you know. And higher self was definitely very intense about talking about this meditation. And you know, I was up in a little cabin. I had moved out of our house. We're going through the process of ending a relationship and starting something new, and learning how to deal with my health, which I had had a really severe thyroid issue. And I found out that, you know, that was caused by something called candida, which is really gross. I'll let you look that up. But it's like a yeast overgrowth in your body. And it really takes its toll on your organs. And I had started out seeing a regular conventional medical doctor, and they had tested antibodies, and I'd gone through all of that. And she put me on a tremendous amount of antihistamine, which was called hydroxyquin, or I can't remember. Anyway, I was on that, and I was taking the maximum dose every day, and I was barely awake. and I had to go to work every day, and it was just miserable. And then she put me on Synthroid, and I think I was on that for like 2 weeks before I said, I'm not doing this. This is not my life. So I went and saw a naturopathic MD, and at that point I was up in Washington State, where the naturopaths were also, a lot of them were very well trained, and they were also trained as medical doctors. And I got onto homeopathic medicine. And at the same time I was doing this meditation, I was also getting over that illness. And I sat down one day. I had taken my drops for my thyroid, and I sat down because I was like having heart palpitations or something. So my heart was racing, and I knew that a symptom of having too much thyroid medication was, you know, going to cause your heart to race. And it was basically like going from hypo to hyperthyroid. And that was when I quit taking it. So I had gone through a lot of different healing modalities, and it seemed like right around the time that I did this meditation is when I was able to quit taking the thyroid medicine. And that was a beautiful thing. But now I just take a little bit of iodine and try and get my exercise and all that stuff. But not being at work has really helped me tremendously, because I've noticed you just don't take as much care with yourself if you're not, if you just don't have as much time. Taking care of yourself tends to fall away, and that's a really sad thing. So I'm glad I'm able to do that now. And so if you can see, it looks kind of like a spiral. I'm not totally into it, but it's kind of looking like a spiral. Now, to me, it was more like a licorice stick in my dream, or not dream, but in my meditation. But it definitely looks more like a spiral than what I've achieved so far. So I'm probably going to go with it. And I don't know how you feel about color, but color has really been a huge thing for me in art. And sometimes it overwhelms others because I'm really bold with it when I paint or when I'm designing something for people to wear. And I think that we've kind of lost some of our fun with color. I feel like sometimes like everybody has to drive a silver car, or, you know, white or whatever. The absence of color seems to be kind of a thing, but I love it. And I was raised with tons of color because both of my parents are artists, and we grew up in kind of like a hippie community, and that was really wonderful because we had so much freedom. And that's what I attribute to giving me the strength to just like completely change my daily mode of operation and go from corporate back into art. So this has been really fun for me. And I don't know what you guys think about this spiral, so feel free to comment and let me know if you have a better way to do it, because I have looked and looked. So but, and now we're just doing it with pin. I just want it to all be kind of flowy, at least look flowy. And I'm going to go back with another set of pin. It just is very soothing to do rainbows, I think. I used to always do rainbows and mountains, and I have a book at Amazon that is just full of rainbows. We got a rainbow dragon and creating your own world, basically. That's the message of that book. And that's one of my videos, so if you're interested in that, you can go watch it. It's a lot of fun. And that's for kids. But I actually have a whole book on video, so you can watch that for free, obviously. And then I'm going to go back, and I have these just basic markers as well. And I want to kind of make the color a little more rich. So this is obviously turning that kind of pink, which I wasn't really going for, but whatever. And then this is the orange. But mostly I just wanted to do this and talk about how even if something may strike other people as weird, go for it. Because we came here to this planet, this life, for a reason. And if you feel moved to do something in one way or another, then you should feel free to do it. Don't listen to anybody saying, oh no, that's too weird, you have to fit in. Just be your own person. Because you are unique, and you should be able to be your unique self. So, anyways, this is the rainbow spiral, and it's kind of crazy, but I think I like it. So we're gonna go with that. And like I said, if you think of anything else that you want to share in the comments about how to do this in a better way, I would love that. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.